What's up, guys? I know I say this all the time, but today is a very exciting day. As you know, I'm a huge Porsche fan, and I'm at Porsche of Fairfield. This place is pretty ridiculous. It's massive, it's super clean, really nice people, super professional, so I'm excited. So they let me use their lift, and what's happening is this Carrera GT, we took the motor out, which maybe you can see over there, it's on the stand. That's gonna get detailed and then put back in, and obviously they did some motor work, oil change, etc., etc. And you might be able to see that crazy car over there. That's a 918 that they're doing some work on, and I may or may not play with later, and if I do, I'll shoot a video. But today I wanted to talk to you about this particular car because there was an issue, and I'm here to fix it and then kind of restore it, I guess, back to its condition. And let me be a little bit more, explain what's going on here. There was a clear bra on here and it turned yellow. Now when it turns yellow, typically it's not the actual clear bra, it's the glue. So an older clear bra, meaning probably when this car came out, which the owner told me, you know, the day it came out, a clear bra went on X amount of years ago. So back then they had some trouble with the glue and it turned yellow, and then if it's over a clear product, you're gonna see the yellow come through. So he wanted to rip it off. When he ripped it off, not him, a other clear bra guy, he ended up pulling some of the clear coat, and I'll pull the camera in and show you what I need to do in terms of touching it up and sanding it down. So today's episode is a little bit about touch up, but it's not normal touch up, meaning I'm not putting the color, I'm just putting the clear on and sanding it down. So it's kind of half of a touch up job. Very kind of unique and weird. Then I'll film us putting clear bra back on. But before I put the clear bra back on, when they pulled it off originally, there's glue everywhere. So they took most of it off, but I'm gonna have to use a microfiber cutting pad to kind of catch that extra glue, plus remove all the scratches, because they put a bunch of scratches in the paint. Now this is plastic, which is much harder to buff. It's just not, right now I've been playing with it, it's not working with me nice, but the rest of the carbon fiber is working out great. So these are the things that you need to, I wish there was a way to say, when there's carbon fiber, you do this, and when there's plastic, you do that. As you know, it doesn't work that way. So I'm kind of testing and playing, and I wanted to bring you guys along, and then we'll film the clear bra process. So that and a lot more coming up on today's episode of Ride Along. All right, guys, so check this out. I spoke with one of my buddies, Chris, who manufactures clear bras, and I want to go straight to the source. And remind you, I'm in a shop, so there's guys making noise and whatnot. So if you hear it, that's what's going on. So why did this happen? What we figured out is back in the day when these cars were made, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, when clear bras were in that sort of development stage, or you know, a little bit past the development stage, what they would do on these leading edges is they would use an adhesive promotion, or promoter you'd call it, because as you do flat areas, it's pretty easy to put the clear bra on, but as you come around the edges, we all know that it kind of peels up, right? So back in the day, they would put this promoter on here, especially on the leading edges, and it would stick forever and it would be fantastic. But if for some reason you wanted to take it off, because we all know clear bras you can take off, it would pull the clear coat off because it was too sticky. It was too much tackiness. So the way that you do it now, which I'll show you later on in 4 or 5 hours, I still got to polish this until my guys get here. We're going to heat it up with a heat gun and then use the thumb sort of method to wrap around these edges. And then, you know, obviously you want to wrap around here and here so you don't see any seams, etc. But the point of the story is, as opposed to using adhesive promoter here, you heat it up and you bend it, you know, according, like this one you bend down, and other ones you bend here, etc., etc. You get my point. So that's what happened here, and as you can tell, the clear coat's gone. So the next little stage here is I'm going to polish a lot of this area off just to make sure it's good. We'll clean it up, take any waxes or whatever off of it, or any polish or compound, and then I'm going to use the clear coat instead of the paint, and just build it up, sand it down, build it up, sand it down, kind of go through that process. I'll do that very quickly, and then I'll show you, you know, the polishing, and then of course the clear bra step. But that's the history of why that sort of happens. So be careful and make sure if you get a new clear bra, it's really not going to happen. But if you are talking to a clear bra installer, maybe bring that up to him and say, hey, I heard a story once, the guy Larry was telling me blah, blah, blah. You don't use adhesive promoter. And they'll be like, oh, you really know what you're talking about. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, step one is I'm taking 3000 grit on my little block here with an interface pad. And I'm just scuffing up the area. Now, normally after we'd scuff up the area, we'd put touch-up paint, and I primed it already with, there's water on it. You can see the little bit of suds or whatever come out. So what I'm trying to do is just scuff up that area and kind of clean out any junk. Now, normally, or in some of the drive clean videos, you see I use a pencil. I just don't happen to have one right now. We're going to do this whole section. So if you have a rock chip or something, you would do that first, kind of promote the adhesion, scuffing out any of the rough edges, and then you'd put the touch-up paint on, and then the clear. Here, we're not going to do that. We're going to put clear on because the paint's already there. So this is a little less severe than, let's say, a big rock chip. So first step is this. I'm going to wipe it clean. Then make sure, put rubbing alcohol or whatever degreaser you can put on there to pull any of your hand grease or any of the little things in there that you don't want when you put the touch-up. And the next step is going to be touching it up. All right, next step is I'd probably put touch-up. Again, we're not going to do that, meaning color, because we don't need it. So I'm going to jump right to the clear. And typically I use different applicators, but in this case it doesn't really matter because we're going to sand it down, meaning I would use a much finer brush. But I'm kind of being aggressive, meaning I want it to fill it up. So I'm filling up the craters right now that are missing. You notice I'm not really painting, I'm more just dabbing and letting the clear come off, kind of drip off. Now the trick is you want enough on there that you don't have to do 50 layers because it'll take you 2 weeks to do this, you know what I mean? And not too much that it drips. That's kind of the trick. And this is a challenge, so don't be scared. There's nothing that can really go wrong. Worst case scenario is you can just pull it off, but it really is a bit of artistry or whatever you want to call it. It takes time, so don't feel bad if it doesn't work out the first time for you. You can just use some sandpaper or whatever, or even a microfiber cutting pad to some degree, and just kind of remove it. So anyways, I'm going to do that, let it dry. I'll lightly sand it down with like 3000 because I tried doing it with 1500 on the other side and I pulled it right off, so I had to start over again. So I'll probably do 3000 real light and just put another layer on, let it dry for a little bit, 3000 real light, another layer on, 3000. And I'll do that a few times and not go too crazy. 1, it's super low on the car. 2, I'm doing this to protect the clear coat. 3, we're putting a clear bra over it. So I didn't want any of these little boogers, and then put a piece of glass over it, let's call it, and then you can see through the glass, but you can't fix it because it's through the glass. You get what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that this looks perfect before we put the clear bra on in probably 3 or 4 hours. And then I also want to show you the inside. I had to polish some stuff, the door sills as well, because we're going to be clear braing them. So let's let this dry, and then we'll move on to the sanding step next.
Okay, as you can see, my lips are moving and no volume is coming out. I just realized that my batteries died and I didn't figure that out until I sat behind the computer editing it. So I'll voice this over. What I'm doing is I'm using a 3000 grit and I'm clearly using it by hand. Now my goal here is to just lightly take off the top little layers of clear coat that I added. You can see they're a little bit darker color. They look a little better, but as you see me, sanding right now, see how they go back to the same sort of color as the car. And again, this is prior to me polishing it, and this is a very sensitive area, but it's also an area that's underneath the car, so no one's really going to see it. But you can see me, I'm just barely taking off the tops. Now I've done this 3 or 4 times. This is probably the third, maybe the second to last time that I did this. And I'm feeling with my hand to see if there's any bumps, because if there's bumps, when the clear bra goes over, you'll see a little bit of a bump. My last point here that I'm freaking out about is I want to kind of get across on camera that, you could be doing this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and sometimes good enough is enough when it comes to putting on clear bra or touch up. You don't want to go too crazy. Sometimes it can take you forever, and you just make it worse.
Guys, I've done multiple layers in between the last video and this one, and it's looking pretty good. I can still kind of feel a little bit of a bump, but we're putting Clear all over it, and you definitely won't feel it. The cool thing that I learned on the fly here, or the way that I'm working this particular one, is normally I would hit this, you know, I hit it with 3000, just very lightly kind of massaging it flat, and then I would hit it with a microfiber cutting pad. Turns out it was too much power, it cut too much, or the other factor is I need to leave it longer to dry. So I don't have all that much time, so I figured instead of using the microfiber cutting pad, I'm going to go with a foam finishing pad, a little bit softer, with a polish, and it worked out perfect. So the polish got out the light 3000 marks, which isn't odd, it isn't very weird, but normally I would, like a robot, I would usually use a microfiber cutting pad after I sand, but in this case, I just needed the massage, and I hope you get that little nuance. I couldn't go too hard with the microfiber cutting pad because it kept pulling out all the work that I did. So it's this very razor's edge sort of thing. That's why touch-up is kind of a pain in the butt. Remember, I'm going to say this every single video when it comes to touch-up. Touch-up is designed to protect the underneath, or protect, like if this was metal, it from oxidizing or corroding or rust. In this case, you know, we're doing it just to protect the clear coat before we put a clear bra on, but the secondary purpose is it looks better. So number one is protection, number two is looking better. Make sure, if you're a professional detailer, make sure you talk to your customers and tell them, hey, it's going to look better, but it's not going to be 100%. You want 100%? Pull the bumper off and go get it repainted. That's 100%. If you want it 80 to 90%, it's going to take a lot of time, but you can get it to look like this. I'll pull the camera in and show you, but it's looking good. If I put my face right up against it, you can see a little bit here and there, but 6 inches, a foot away, like you guys, you probably can't even see. Maybe a little spot right here. This one's a little tough, but hopefully you get my point. Okay, while I'm letting the clear coat dry over there, I got a lot more work to do. So I have the doors and the door sills, but a lot of people forget about the actual door jambs. And in this case, as most of you know, the Carrera GT is a monocoque. So it's just one big piece of carbon fiber essentially, and the interior cockpit is carbon fiber with clear on top of it. If it's clear on top of it, you can polish away. Now, when you get inside the car, your feet are going to hit the door sill and cause scuffs. It's totally common. But if you use your 15, like I'm using my air-powered 15, or whatever little 3-inch that you have, great. But don't forget to polish these. So I'll show you a little 50-50 shot to prove to you that, hey, carbon fiber can be polished as long as there's clear coat over it. You can really add some extra pop as soon as the customer opens the door. It's very important. I say that in a lot of the training classes and things I do. The door jams are almost more important than anything else. The customer opens up the door, and the first thing he's going to look at is his seat, the center console, and of course the door sills. And if you do 40-hour restoration on the paint, it looks great and wonderful, and you look at it and the guy gets in the car and sees a little whatever, a little booger on the door sill, he's going to forget about that. That's just like the Murphy's Law or whatever of detailing, so keep that in mind. Anyways, I'll show you the 50-50, and then we're going to clear bra all of this as well. Very smart idea the owner came up with. I was encouraging him to do that because with a low car like this, you're going to get in and out and you're going to scuff it. So put clear bra where it's most useful, and the front is very useful, but so is the inside. Kind of cool. I'm behind the camera right now, and I've turned the ISO way down so you could see the scratches, otherwise it's like impossible to see. Right there, see the piece of tape? So right here, it's I compounded it, but I didn't polish it. I'm struggling for time here. It would be a little bit shinier right here, meaning those white marks that you see, that's normal because I compounded it. Remember we talked about that in a lot of the videos. So normally you wouldn't see that because I haven't polished it. I just didn't have the time. Right here, see it? See how it crosses over, and see how or how swirled it is? Look at those swirls. Hopefully it's coming out on camera. It took me 20 minutes to get this shot right. But yeah, anyways, you can, yeah, look at that. You can definitely polish and fix carbon fiber. All right, guys, check this out. While they're putting on the clear bra on the front, and I got another guy in the back putting a clear bra on the rear bumper, it's perfect timing for me to get in here and work on the, this is the same type of piece that's in the inside of the door jamb. So same idea, I'm in the engine compartment, which is kind of cool. And if you can see here, this is where the oil fill is. I'll try to take a picture of it, but a lot of scratches and scraping around here, you know, when you go to fill the oil or whatever. So this is another little thing you can do if it's clear coated. All right, guys, clearly I'm in the engine compartment right now, but I wanted to prove a point to you about clear-coated carbon fiber and non-clear coated. So inside the bay here, the firewall, I was thinking of polishing it, but there's really not enough clear or any clear at all on this carbon fiber. And if you can look here, I'll pull the camera in, you can see they really cleared it and sanded it and cleared it and sanded it. That's why it looks so shiny here. But the firewall itself, so sometimes you just really can't do a whole lot. You can clean it, maybe make it a little bit shinier, but you can't do what you would normally do like with paint when you have clear coat on top of carbon fiber. Again, a very cool aspect. It's kind of fun to see how they make everything. So again, I'll take the camera and show you. This is just pure geekdom right now. It's kind of fun. If you guys have any more questions, of course, shoot me an email at larry@ammonyc.com. Thanks for watching, and remember, Drive Clean, Season 3 of Drive Clean is out. Season 1, 2, and 3 are out, and they're all free on the Drive channel. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.